I was born in an abandoned building somewhere in northern Quebec, and for the first 8 years of my life I grew up in a rooming house. And as an inner city kid, I brought myself up. I never saw my mother. My mother worked two jobs as a dishwasher, 16 hours a day. I played truancy from school, and I ended up being incarcerated in Canada's most violent and brutal training school. And there was a man at this training school that used to beat on me with a sawed-off goalie stick. He would have me hold a small bucket of sand, one in each arm. It was called the time game. And he'd wait till my arms got tired and weary and drooped. And behind me I would hear the whistle of the sawed-off goalie stick through the air, because he had drilled holes in the paddle of it so that when it hit your wet skin, it acted like a suction cup and made little blood blisters. And they'd knock you down to your knees and you get back up again, because if you didn't, it'd come across your shoulders. And the game ended when you collapsed and couldn't get up, or he got tired. And at 10 years old, I was to go to the stable. I was to break a pitchfork tine off. And I was to march into that man's office and bury 6 inches of it in his belly. They took me to court and said I was brain damaged. I thought that was pretty cool. I was better than being a squaw and a half-breed and a bastard and stupid and no good. Brain damaged is a better label than all of that. And by the time I was 15 years old, I was leading one of the toughest and largest street gangs in the city of Toronto. I was a confirmed alcoholic. I carried a gun in a time and era when most police officers didn't carry a gun. And if they did, they carried it unloaded. And I was to embark upon a journey as a 20-year drug addict, a 13-year intravenous user, putting poison into the veins of my body and smoking crack cocaine to fog my brain. And as time went on, I began to go to prison and do what most convicts do, life on the installment plan. And I was to rise in the power hierarchy of Canada, in the criminal underworld. In 1984, I was to begin a new 9-year prison sentence for a $40 million drug bust. I had risen to be a co-leader of one of Canada's most powerful drug crime families. I generated $130 million a year of poison and pollute the minds and bodies of children across North America. And in my depths of depression, for the first time in my life where I considered suicide, I was invited to go to a chapel. You all see these funny little Christians who like coffee and donuts. And one day I asked one of the volunteers, I'd like a Bible. I'd like to read what you're talking about. I had a grade 5 education, but I could read. And he said, we can't get you a Bible. There are none. I said, well, I need to get a Bible. And he said, I'll get you one.